So glad you can join me. I'm Steve Stacks, music producer, singer, songwriter, composer, and more. Please check out my channel for everything from impressions to game shows to world news and more. So if we take a look at this document provided by Homeland Security, if you read the fourth bullet point here, if Iranian leadership were to issue a religious ruling calling for retaliatory violence against specific targets in the homeland, it could increase the likelihood that a supporter of the Iranian regime is inspired to commit an act of violence in the homeland. So in other words, there could be a terrorist attack every day, for a week straight. And they wouldn't know how to combat that, right? So as we see in the stories previously, where, in my eyes, I guess legal Iranians living in USA are getting detained by ICE right now, it looks like Trump is trying to curb the risk of domestic terrorism. And in the process, he will look like an idiot trying to do it. 47% have no criminal record whatsoever. So 47, half of the people that you're detaining, don't even have criminal records. And we're talking about a criminal record could be possession of marijuana, since USA is still not legal. So you don't know the level of the crime that was committed. But 50-50, man, that sounds like they're getting it wrong more than right. So, if Trump is as flawless as he claims to be, or tries to say to us, then it would be like an 80-20 or 90-10 ratio. Like the story before this was the lady, she got a visa in 78, and she's actually being detained now. What for? She tried to do everything legally, and now she's being detained. Is it right? Was it right after the attacks on Iran? Probably. So it seems like Trump is trying to, minimize the amount of terrorist attacks that are about to happen. We just got the word June 30th, that Ayatollah, the leader there, just put a hit out for Trump, and he's encouraging all Muslims, I guess, to do terroristic attacks, so any day now we're going to start hearing about these attacks. Trump, in my opinion, is putting the American people in unrest, right? Instead of creating a more livable world in USA, it's become more madness and chaotic and unsafe, almost to walk down your block, right? Like anything now is possible in USA, right? Like this is not a step in the right direction for USA, and time will tell, right? We will see if there will be any terroristic attacks and attacks on Trump. Who knows, right? But these are absolutely not good times right now to be living in. So I'm just reporting it. I hope everybody understands, this is the most serious matter that you could talk about right now. No matter what's happening, Trump doing his speech today, and tomorrow everybody's just, praising all the, everything. You have to really understand, Trump is putting on a show, or doing all this. It's obviously, Independence Day, but he's not going to ever apologize or warn the people that there's a real presence of hate, and a real presence of hate brewing up in America. So he'll speak for 2 hours straight, but he'll never warn the people. Be scared, people, because that is the actual reality. There's not going to be a cop or a military person by your side every second of the way. And even if there were those two right by your side, they still wouldn't be able to tell who's about to do something, very dangerous or very chaotic. And I don't know. In my opinion, he absolutely added to the amount of risk for terrorism domestic terrorism in USA. Either it could be by a full 100% American, Iranian that was born in USA, or these Muslims, I don't know, that can easily be persuaded by Ayatollah leader in Iran. I don't know how it goes, but I believe Trump has triggered this type of paranoia now that's living amongst Americans, right? So, and you guys see the other story the other day that I posted. You should go look at that. It's got like 1 view. Okay? Go watch that video. It's North Korea can even reach United States land with their ballistic missiles. So, it's not going the right way. I believe it's already a World War III, but a global World War III would just be the end of the world. So, I don't know. I don't know what Trump's trying to do here, but it's not making peace here. There's too many countries going at it right now, and too many countries involved. It's a shit show. That's what we're seeing right here. And Trump is there just, acting all nonchalant. He's going to tell his people today in this speech, everything's great and gravy. It's absolutely the opposite right now. Like, there's more hate. There's more terrorist risks, domestic terrorist risks right now. And it doesn't look like he's trying to correct it. So, wouldn't your president want you to be walking down the street more safer? It doesn't seem like he's doing that at all, because there's more countries now, foreign countries, that are pointing their weapons at you and saying they want your head on a stick. Like, think about how many countries side with Iran, right? So now you got all those countries, just putting a bounty on your head here, and it's crazy. It is crazy. Well, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope you guys enjoy these videos. It's unfortunate that it has to be under these circumstances, but I'm just reporting what I'm seeing, and it's not looking like good stuff is coming from Trump, So what? He bombed a base in Iran. All he did was stir up shit now, and he left a war open, right? It's not like it's a closed case, right? He bombed everybody. They're all dead. It's over, right? The whole country's dead. We win. We know it's all over. And even then, it wouldn't be over. There would be supporters that are living in USA right now. So you bombing Iran just opened up a door, a new world of stuff, right? So you left the war open now, and it's unfinished business right now, right? So now all the Americans, either in the Middle East in their bases, living very paranoid, and then you got the Americans on American soil living very paranoid, right? I think this case is pretty strange, how it looks like the wife and the husband are still Trump supporters. We're talking fucking diehards. Somebody detains my wife, and she's been trying to get legal status for 20 plus years, and then she's detained today. I would be very upset at the guy that I voted for, right? But this is how attached Trump's supporters are. They're willing to still be a supporter after all this. Like, how many passes does a Trump supporter need to give this guy and still be his supporter? Right? I'm usually at 2 strikes and you're out, right? Most of the time I'm like 1 strike, you're out, right? But it looks like Trump supporters will give this guy like 20 strikes before he's out, right? I don't know. It seems pretty crazy how this guy is still talking really highly about him, and we haven't heard from her. So I don't know. This story was reported, when was this story even reported? But if I haven't heard from my wife in 3 days, man, like, I'm not sure, you can side with your president, man, or the guy that you voted for. Like, it's crazy. Doesn't she deserve to speak to her family, like, every day? Is she that much of a hard criminal where you can't let, a family communicate with one another? These numbers are staggering, too. It's a lot of people being detained. 56,000 people are currently held in an immigrant detention center across the country. We don't even hear how well these people are fed and treated in these detention centers, right? And you sure as hell are not going to hear Trump get up on there and be like, don't worry, people, all these people that are being detained by ICE, they are being treated fairly. We're giving them proper care, proper treatment. They're being fed 3 times a day, and if they're not, I got 2 words for them. You're fired. This lady who was detained, 64 years old, Kashanian, basically has had a hell of a life there. Like, she left Iran to flee the government and their regime, okay? And then she gets to USA and she's dealing with the same problem almost. So she's had a hard life, to say the least. It's 2 countries and 2 governments that she's had to try and dodge, or not dodge, but like battle against, right? When really America is supposed to be a refuge place, right? So she left one country just to encounter the same or harsher government, and it seems that way, right? She was living, looks in the photo, she was living a great life, right? Like, now it looks like she's back where she started, where she doesn't know her fate, and her government is treating her improperly, or even worse, right? Like, who knows? We don't know the outcome of this person's fate right now. So it's quite the stories that are coming out with this ICE department, or whatever you want to call it, are quite insane. They just don't stop. We just keep hearing more and more stories. You heard the last time, a Canadian, he wasn't the most straight Canadian. I think he had a little bit of a criminal past. He passed away in ICE's possession. A lot of bad stories right now coming from this ICE department here. These ICE raids. It's insane how, and then I just seen video of ICE pulling up to like elementary schools and just really power tripping and really creating like terror amongst the citizens. Because just imagine the kids, they see these guys pull up with like weapons and drawn weapons. I don't even know how the raid goes down, or what they're doing, if they even do a raid. Are they still like surrounding the building, and who knows? Like, it's quite the look for children at school to see 100 officers or 50 officers or whatever it is, 20 officers or 20 military personnel try and show up and sift through the kids, okay, that's him, and pull a kid out right in front. Like, that's traumatizing for kids, right? You pull out their best friend right there during school. Like, these raids could be happening other places, but I guess they choose to be very. It's the look they're going for, so they want to do it in these public settings and really install fear into every American, which, again, Americans are not at ease right now, and they're paranoid. This is all being created by somebody who I like to call chump. This is my opinion. Again, the stories are the stories. They're factual stories, so I'm going based on these stories, and that's my opinion right now. So he's doing it to Canadians. He's doing it to a lot of people. And this is just 2 stories out of, who knows, 59,000 so far. If he keeps up this pace, man, we're eventually going to start seeing 20 million people over the course of 4 years. And then if it's only 49% of those people are correctly detained, I don't know. It's going to be a big backlash, and it's going to happen really soon and it's already happening. There's people that are donating half their life right now to protesting about things like ICE, right? It's obviously not going the right way when you got so many people backlashing. We all seen what happened No King's Day. It's just going to keep growing, right? In my opinion, he has to put down the ICE. Okay, stop with the ICE, or stop doing crazy things like starting wars, and it might look better, and America is definitely going to be at ease, calm, and not worry about looking at the threat levels today to see if they're at extreme high. Canada is right now, I think, is either moderate or high, but you know what I mean, that. If it goes from moderate to high just after you start bombing countries, I'd be upset at our prime minister as well, right? So it's obviously in relation to, the way your president is acting, right? They're not sending love letters over, so that's an easy way to tell if you're doing a good job or not, right? Don't you think Mr. Show and Tell himself would love to get in front of the camera and show off all the love letters he's getting from all the world leaders? Here, look, one by one by one by one. No, he can't. That's why he doesn't. So it's the opposite in my eyes, right? He's creating more enemies. He definitely doesn't look at us as an ally the way he's treating Canadians right now. So he's definitely trying to stir up shit, and I think he's trying to go for an embargo act. And again, if you guys don't know what that means he's always creating everything in USA and not doing trade with anybody in the world. And the last time that happened, it didn't end well with the Americans doing that. So it's a failed strategy, and I do think he thinks he can do the embargo act. It's incredible. So that's all I have to say. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Smash that like, follow me. I got more shit like this on the way, and check you on the next one. Stacks out. Don't you think it's kind of strange how Trump seems to avoid warning his people? He's got all this time in front of the mic, and he never uses it wisely. Never issues a warning to his people. I think it's very strange. So as you see, Homeland Security, they can put a bulletin on their website, this and that. But how many people are just going to go to the Homeland Security website and check and see if, the terrorism level has risen? Not too many. If you're truly looking out for your people's best interest, then the first things out of your mouth the next time you stand in front of that microphone should be, People, you have to be on a lookout as our domestic terrorism level was changed the other day to high risk. Just thought you should know, since I know half of you probably don't go and check out the Homeland Security website. That would be a proper way to address the people the next time you get in front of a mic.